Is a membership site the right option for you as an artist to make extra money from your creativity? That is a question that I've been asked a lot this week because at the point of recording this, we are pointing people to my mentor, Stu McLaren, who teaches people how to make recurring income by doing what they love. And he's teaching people to do that through membership sites. So I wanted to come on today, talk about my experience of running a membership, and also just answer some of the big questions that have been coming in around this topic to help you understand and maybe make a decision as it relates to you and your own art and your creativity and what you do with that. So for me, and by the way, I just have to say right now, I'm filming this. The audio probably isn't great because I'm in Geneva. And ironically, I'm actually in Geneva because I am meeting up with a group of people who I met through Stu's course back in 2018. And we have been accountability buddies since then. And we are all meeting up in Geneva, which is absolutely amazing. And after I've recorded this, we're going to go and have dinner together and mocktails. And it's glorious sunshine here as well. So, and all of this, this life that I live right now is because I set up a membership site. So, of course, I'm passionate about this topic, but it's not right for everybody. And that's what I want to talk about today. And also, there are different ways of running a membership, probably different to the way Stu's even described during the workshops that he's been teaching. And so, in a nutshell, the membership model is that you have people in your audience that pay you monthly, every 3 months, yearly to access some kind of service, product, or community. And it's a really great model for artists and creatives, especially. Stu teaches creatives. He teaches all kinds of people, but he has a high volume of artists going through his course. And the reason because art memberships work really, really well. And so we've been talking in the last few weeks about the different ways that you could create a membership. And that could be, we talked about doing things in person, creating a subscription based on a art studio, for example. And instead of like renting out the specific space, which is what I used to do, and you have a cap and a ceiling on what you can earn because there's only so much space. What you can do instead is make it more communal and turn it into like a gym where people can book a certain amount of classes a month. People can come and use the space for 5 hours a month, and you have a system where you track how long they've been using it for, check in, check out. And so you can use a membership in that kind of way. And I just think that's a really exciting way at the moment because more and more people want to meet in person. More and more people are giving access to funding, especially to create these kinds of spaces, obviously depending where you live in the world. And so that one's a really, really interesting option to go down. You can do that in person. And you can also use a membership site for your own art. And so you can actually set up a subscription site, and artists have done this, where they can access prints from you, where they can access advice from you. So you might have followers who want to be part of your world and they want to know when your next viewing is, and they want to be kind of that insider. There's ways of teaching your own art skills. This one was seen to be really, really, really powerful. So if you are an artist using watercolor or soapstone, for example, like me, teaching that, what I try and say to people is, if you're going to set up a membership, make it related to what you're doing day in, day out. Because if you don't, it's then like running two different businesses. And so as much as possible, if you can teach the art that you're making, this is what I've seen a lot of my friends do. Ali Kay teaches expressive painting. Alan Pickard teaches pastel. My friend Bonnie is teaching people how to draw. There's loads of people in Stu's world who create art and then they're teaching it. And the great thing with that is, like Bonnie, she's sitting working on a commission and she will film the commission and she's teaching people how she's doing the commission. So she's not only getting paid for the commission, but she's also getting paid to teach others how she's doing the commission. So it just becomes this holistic, you're bringing everything together. And as much as possible, if you can bring things together, you're just going to make your life easier. And a lot of artists say to me that they have other artists following them. And if that is the case, it's usually because they want to learn from you. And so it could be that you create an extra income by creating a membership of some kind where people subscribe to learn from you, and you keep it very lightweight. This is the other thing, it doesn't have to be lots and lots of work. And and you go down that avenue of the artists are learning from you, and then there's this crossover where some of them might buy your art, but you're pushing the art out into a different area to sell the actual art pieces. So remembering all of this as well, that you can design your membership in any way that you want to. So I've been sharing stories recently of people kind of having millions of pounds coming in 1 year, and thousands of members. And for some people, you don't want thousands of members. Maybe you just want an extra bit of cash. And so you can have a small membership, a big membership. It really is up to you. That's the great thing with a membership. You can cap it, and you can also make it very lightweight in terms of what you deliver. So a lot of people, I think, are scared that, what if I run a membership and it's just going to take me away from my art and I won't be able to do my art anymore? Well, you can be very mindful of that, and you can do it two ways, where you make your art still the main focus and a membership is something that you do as a sideline. Like my friend Sharon, who recently created a pop-up membership. So I'll talk about that because that might be interesting for some people. So my friend Sharon is a sculptor working in clay, creating figurative sculptures. And Sharon does have a passion for teaching, but she had to put that on hold a few years ago to really focus on her own art and push that out into the world. And this is where you might be right now. A membership site might not be right for you at this moment because you want to focus all in on your art. So just remember that sometimes maybe it's something that you're going to do in the future. Sharon quit the teaching and she just focused on her own art because she wanted to get her art in the world and she wanted to sell it and she wanted to be a full-time artist. And then what happened over time is that she started to, grow her following and grow her sales, and now she's represented and she's, having the door knocked down to teach and to come back to do these things and share. And so I remember Sharon saying to me recently, like, I would love to create an online community, but I don't want to do it long term because I've got exhibitions and I've got commissions and I've got all this stuff that I need to do. So I just want to do a pop up. And also, it's a just great way of testing out whether it would actually work. And so Sharon just kept it very, very, very light because the main point of this pop up clay club was actually to bring community together, to bring potters. And that's one of Sharon's missions, is to create community. And she absolutely loves bringing clay to people. And she likes to do that in our local area. She works with schools, she works with refugees. This is part of her being. She's not just doing it because she thinks she's going to make some money from it. It's actually her passion. And this is why I say to people, if you can try and do something that you're really passionate about, it's the same with art making. Don't just try and create a membership because you think this is what people want and it could make you loads of money. It's probably not going to work if you do that. It really does have to be something that you are passionate about. And so for Sharon, when she was questioning what I really want to do as an artist and how I want to give back, it was, I want to create community and I want to bring clay to people and I want to bring clay to as many people as possible. And Sharon then came up with this idea of creating Clay Club, which was a pop-up membership. And it was delivered over a month. And so people were asking me, how she did that. And I will bring Sharon in. And I just want to give a big shout out to Sharon because she's been very, very unwell and was rushed into hospital last week. So I'm giving big love to Sharon. And I will bring her in when she's better to talk about how she ran Clay Club. But for now, in a nutshell, Sharon was able to sell the idea of Clay Club because of years of building up relationships with people. You know, it wasn't like she just suddenly overnight decided to do it and all these people started signing up. I think there were 300 people that signed up. um, um, it came over time, and it came from being known for something and sharing that message, and people trust Sharon, people like Sharon, and so she had an audience already. So what she did then was just kept it so simple, and just literally put a message out saying, I've got an idea to set a Clay Club up. Would anybody be interested? And that's how she started it. And she started with a wait list. And I know for those who've taken part in Stu's workshops, he'll have taught you this, that, you know, to get going, you can actually ask your current audience if they're interested in something and start a wait list. And so Sharon did exactly that, and she kept it so simple. It was just 4 videos that she pre-recorded, and the emphasis was on community and bringing community together and talking about clay, and it was just the most amazing experience. And she just kept it really simple, that here's the payment link. There was a bit of admin at the beginning, so what Sharon did was create a Facebook group. Everything was happening in the Facebook group, and she did that for ease. You know, it was just, I know it's not ideal for everybody because not everybody's on Facebook, but she just wanted to do it fast, simple, quick. So she put it out there, got the wait list. She's got an email list, so she was keeping track of people that way. And then when it was ready and time, she opened it up. She opened it up for about 3 weeks and said, here you go, here's Clay Club, it's £50. There's the link. And then there was some manual intervention where Sharon had a list of people that had paid, and then they would request to join the group. And so Sharon would manually, and I think she had some help as well, but manually like letting people in. There are faster ways of doing it. You can import email addresses into Facebook. But anyway, it just shows you though that you don't have to know, because a lot of people have said to me, I'm just not tech savvy. Literally, this was just a payment link. Here's a link. and there's the group link, and that was it. And then you just post a video inside the community. It was super simple, super simple. And so sometimes I think I want us to say this too, that sometimes it's easy to look at people, and I don't want to like be big-headed like look at me, but to look at me like, and I've got a membership site and it's all really professional, and we've got, you know, like videos recorded and they've all been edited, and you know, our platform is really established. It's easy to kind of like look at something like that thinking that's what I need, but I didn't start out like that. That has built over years. You know, when I first started my membership, if I backtrack now, oh gosh, I joined, I set up the business 8 years ago, and then it took me, I can't remember, it's a bit hazy, but I started it, you know, a couple of years in the membership. And I remember when I first had the idea, so many people told me that it wouldn't work. I cannot tell you the amount of people that said that won't work. And I just kept pushing it anyway. And I remember when I launched my membership, there was nothing in it. It was empty. And I remember saying to people, I've got this idea, and if you want in, this is it. And I remember, I think there was 40 people that signed up. And I remember back then being absolutely devastated, because I thought hundreds and hundreds of people were going to sign up and they didn't. And, you know, now I realise now that 40 was good, but it was not covering the costs. And it was a big shock to me. And I think some people go into these things thinking, oh, this is going to be easy. I'll just have like Bonnie, I'll just have thousands of members in a year and I'll be making $1 million. And it's like anything, I always say, it's really simple. It's really simple, but it's not easy. And what I mean by that is the steps of setting up a membership are really simple, really simple. You're going to link it to your art in some way. You're going to attract that audience or if you've got an audience already, figure out what it is that they want, work it in with what you love doing, and that's it. And it's like Sharon proved that it can be really simple. But the reason that it's not easy is because one of ourselves, we get in our own way and we start to question and over analyze and make it more complex than it needs to be, and we make it hard, and we doubt ourselves, and all of that stuff. That's why it becomes less and less easy. And the other thing is, sometimes you've got to kind of learn a bit of stuff about what it is that you are doing and what is that transformation that people will have when they join your membership. And the transformation can be very simple, that you are going to create a community for people so that they feel connected to others. They can be as simple as that, but you've got to be clear on that. And so when I was setting up my membership, I just come out of art school. I hadn't long come out of art school, and I'd spent six years basically every day making art, pretty much nearly 6 years. And I remember when I kind of graduated, I had opportunities to sell and I had opportunities to exhibit, but I wasn't really taking them. And I now know, looking back, it was because I was being called to do something else. I now know that for me, the end goal wasn't to be a full-time artist exhibiting and selling every day. It was not that. The art for me is a means for what I do now, and it's a vehicle for me to express and connect with people. And for me, that was always so intrinsically built in, that I want to help other people. I want to talk, I want to share. And for me, when I first started out, I didn't even think about having a membership site. I was just starting to do art challenges. I've always just wanted to bring people together. And so it kind of evolved out of that, really fine tuning, first of all, what it is that I wanted to do and doing it because of the love of it. And then it kind of turned into, hold on a minute, people want this. Okay, now maybe it's time to sell it. And that's how it all grew for me. But I do remember those first 3 years were tough, and I didn't make any money. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I didn't make any money in the first 3 years because it took a lot of time for me to kind of figure out what my membership was, what am I going to put in it, what's the transformation for people, because especially mine wasn't related to art making. It was related to people growing confidence and showing it and selling it, and that is harder to do. But that was where my passion lay. So but I love having this in my life because I'm sat here now in Geneva with friends that I've met through Stu. I said in a recent Instagram message that I was able to take 6 weeks off work when I had to have an operation. And I remember being so terrified because I'd just launched and I'd brought in more people into the membership than I'd ever had before. It was like a really successful launch, and it was in January 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And I remember bringing these people in, and then I found out I had to go in for an operation in the February. So I had all these new members and had to go, hi, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to take 6 weeks off. And you know what? I was only greeted with kindness and love. It's just so incredible. And then we kind of had the operation, took that time off, and then COVID hit. and that was turbulent because at that point we lost members because people panicked, and then we gained loads more. It is such a roller coaster journey. Which again is why I say to people, you don't have to make it your main focus. You can make it a sideline. And I know for some people, just an extra £500 or dollars a month would make a massive difference to some of you. I know that's where I started. At the beginning, it was like, yeah, if I could just make a few hundred, then that would be a bonus right now. And so you can make it your focus, or you can make it a sideline. But it's like anything, it does take work in the beginning. It does take work. So whether it's right for you to create a membership site, which I know some people are grappling with, one thing I will say is that you can just test this out. I always treat everything as a test. So you don't have to go into this thinking that you're committing for life and that once you've done this, that's it. You could literally do something like Sharon and say, I'm doing a pop-up for a month and it's on this topic. And you could do that then to see how it goes, to see how many people convert. And if it's popular and people like it, you can go, do you know what? I'm going to carry this on. Or you might try it and think, I don't want to do this. Or you can do it the way Stu was taught during the workshops, which is you can create something with an idea and bring people on board and see whether there's anybody out there who'd be interesting. And it's called a founding member launch. And then you build it as you go with those founding members who get a big discount at the beginning. That's the way I did it. I did it that way, a founding member launch where people came in at a very low cost because there was nothing inside it. But one of the things that I have really enjoyed from having a membership is the people that I've met, the learning curve. Like, I've learned so much from having a membership. It's been hard but incredibly rewarding. And the people that we connect, but also the people that I have met, that I feel like I have friends for life. It's just been really, really special. So I hope that's helped. I know it can be a big decision. So if you treat it as a test, that's what I would recommend doing. Just everything is a big test. And keep it connected to your artwork as much as possible. Like, can you imagine if you're being paid to make your own art, by selling it and by making it as well? If you can tie it into your passions and what really matters to you, that is going to be easy if you just sell anything, is if it aligns with what you do and what you believe and your mission. So I think as we speak and recording this right now, Stu has got his course that he's selling. So I hope those who've taken part in his free workshop have enjoyed it. It happens once a year. I just think it's the most incredible experience. He gives so much. So thank you to everyone who's taken part and given amazing feedback on what you've learned. And if you have any questions whatsoever, reach out to us on social media. Happy to be of any help. So have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.